Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Bitcoin update. Bitcoin has moved below that 61k level. It's testing it for resistance right now, which is not particularly good news. We also need to discuss a couple of threats that people are pointing out. Threats coming through from the 2-month chart candle, okay? And threats coming through from the 1-month chart stochastic RSI. These are threats that are developing. I personally don't believe they're too major at this point in time. I personally remain macro bullish, but we do need to look into these short-term charts, discuss the price action, discuss what the invalidation zones are for those bullish predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it today, let's check out the VIP group on Telegram. As you can see here on Telegram, we trade altcoins 4 to 5 times a week. You can check out this information and results group. It shows you all of the information and results as per the title for our trading group on Telegram. $399 USD for entry until next April. So about a year of membership there for $399, 77.51% win rate. We post trades 4 or 5 times a week. Very, very good win rate. That's 18 months of trading results there, fully transparent. I don't just ask you to take my word when I say I'm good at trading. I show you the results in a fully transparent PDF document. Check that out if you're interested. Guys, without further ado, let's get into the actual content here today. I want to start with the short-term charts, and then we'll move into the macro threats that people are talking about on Bitcoin and speaking about them a little bit here. So first part of this video is going to be a bit of a recap of what we've discussed a few times before. Here is the Bitcoin price action since around February 27th this year, right? So the last 1.5 months, close to 2 months of price action on Bitcoin has been within this region, within this range from about 74K all the way down to around 57K. Okay, we've got a few critical lines on the screen. We're actually going to delete this red one. We're just going to look at 2 very major lines. One of them is 57K. It's the lower line down here. That is the line we tested, the level we tested very recently on May 2nd. We bounced off of it very strongly. Now, that's not just a random line, as I've said many times before. In fact, I predicted we would go to that line up here on May 12th, or April 12th, I should say. I actually predicted we'd go to 57K, because it's not just a random line that I just randomly picked out of nowhere. Very important macro support line. Stems from, we can go check it out, a 13-year-long support line on Bitcoin's price chart, going back from 2011. If we zoom up, you can see it's perfectly stationed at 57K. We tested it pretty much perfectly as well. We also have the bull market support band acting as confluence in that region. And we also have the center lines of the Pi cycle indicator in yellow and green on the screen here, acting as support in that region as well. On top of that, another thing is the volume profile. You can see a very major spike in the volume profile starting at around that 57K block. So 57K, when I made that prediction, I didn't just pick it out of nowhere, right? I looked at these very important things that were going on, these very important lines, and I said, look, it's probably very likely that Bitcoin's going to go retest that region. We did retest that region. We bounced from it perfectly, and that bounce was perfectly macro healthy. It was the norm. We've done that before in previous cycles. There's nothing to be concerned about there. So with this said, we can go ahead and plot 57K in on our kind of short-term range chart. There it is right there. What about 61K? Well, 61K is also a major level that stems from more than just horizontal support. Of course, it is that horizontal support zone, right? You can see throughout this entire range, all of the bounces we've seen pretty much have stemmed from that rough 61K region. Been a very, very important support zone. 4 or 5 separate bounces now from that price region. But it actually stems from the monthly chart. So if we go to the monthly chart real quick, go bring it up right now, and we go and look at where the highest ever monthly candle close was in the last cycle. You can see it's actually at that 61K level very roughly. And that's a level that extends right across. I'll make it pink so you can see it here. You can see it acted as support resistance in this year as well, but it was the highest ever monthly candle close we saw in the 2021 bull market. So very important level. And I think the reason why I'm making this video and the reason why I'm my main kind of focus in this video is, of course, the bearish scenarios and the bearish arguments and why I'm not fully convinced by them yet. But also because we've unfortunately come down now and broken below 61K. It has been a short-term breakdown, but it has occurred. Okay, we've broken below 61K after testing it for support and after bouncing quite well. We failed to make a higher high on that bounce. That's not a particularly good sign. We've come down, we've broken below 61K, and now we're actually testing it for resistance. Now, the good news is this could be a bullish structure and a resistance retest. It looks like it could be something resembling a ascending triangle formation, as you can see, but look, that's not confirmed at all. The point is right now it's acting as resistance. That's not good news. We want to be holding that 61K level, but I've always said, and I will continue to say, and this is why I'm not macro bearish, that the 61K level is a medium-term level. the macro level is very much 57K, because 57K is the level that's supported by a 13-year support line. 57K is the level that's supported by bull market support band, which was the most critical support level in every single bull market Bitcoin's ever seen. 57K is the level that's supported by the center lines in the pi cycle indicator, which has predicted every single Bitcoin top in bull markets to a pretty astoundingly accurate degree. Okay, so 57K for me is rarely the important macro level that we need to remain above. 61K is just a level that would be great to have. Unfortunately, we've lost it now, and now we need to be getting it back above it. So what is the downside level? 57K. Until we drop below 57K, I'm not concerned about Bitcoin macro at all. Until we drop below 57K, Bitcoin macro looks pretty perfect to me. But 61K is our upside target now. Getting back above it again would be great, considering it has been the dividing line within the upper part of this range and the lower part of this range. So those are the two levels right now, 61K and 57K. All eyes on 61 in the short term, and all eyes on 57 in the macro. So as you can see, I'm macro bullish on Bitcoin, and it basically until 57K is lost properly. And even then there's some debate around it, but that would be when I start considering the opposing point of view a bit more fully. But right now, I don't see this as a macro threat. I see this as a short-term, medium-term inconvenience. Can it develop into a macro threat? I mean, anything can happen. And this is where the bears will point out things like the 2-month chart, okay? And also like the monthly chart stochastic RSI. We'll look into those things in a second. Before we look into those things, go ahead and check out the Bingx and Bitget exchanges. These are the sponsored exchanges for this YouTube channel. I reached out to them for partnership. They did not reach out to me, okay? So I didn't just pick up a random exchange partnership. I actually looked at these exchanges, used them for, in Bitget's case, basically 6 months. And then said, hey, look, I'll advertise this exchange on my channel if you give me a referral link. They've given me a referral link. It's down below. If you click on that link and sign up, you'll get 15% trading fee discounts for life and access to an exclusive reward center in which you can gain thousands of dollars in USDT rewards. These are also very safe exchanges historically. They've never been hacked before. They're very cheap in fees. They've got protection funds in case they are hacked, so you can get reimbursed on your lost funds if that does occur. Check them out with my links below. Guys, let's dive back into the content here. Okay, 2-month chart. Now, I did a video on the 2-month chart quite recently, actually, and you can find it on my YouTube channel. I'll bring it up here. As you can see, it's this video right here, okay? They are lying to you, debunking the bears. So I've done a video fully, on this one topic, but I'm going to look into it very briefly again, just overlying the key points, and I'll look into a new threat as well that is developing. 2-month chart, I'm not really convinced by this at all. People are saying that, essentially they're saying that, oh, look at this 2-month candle on Bitcoin. It's a bearish gravestone doji candlestick formation, which of course is a candlestick formation that generally represents a top of a move. Okay, it's a candlestick candlestick formation that generally represents kind of a reversal pattern. So if we were to go solely off the 2-month candle, yes, okay, it would be likely Bitcoin prices going down. But we don't go solely off of one indicator or market pattern ever in charting. That's not how charting works. It's never that simple, okay? You have to take in all the evidence, accumulate it together, and then come to a conclusion and opinion. Right now, I can look at this one candle on the 2-month chart, which by the way is a very abstract way to look at Bitcoin, the 2-month chart. Or I can look at everything I just looked at the start of the video, 57K bounces, or alternatively, I can look at this pattern right here, this structural market pattern on Bitcoin, on total 3 cryptocurrency market cap, and it's also represented on Ethereum as well, but there's no point wasting time looking into that. Point is, this structural market pattern is copied exactly from the prior bull market, okay? 5-step market pattern copied exactly from the prior bull market. In the prior bull market, step number 4 was our final consolidation and correction before a parabolic bull market. That's the exact same position we are in right now. I can look at things like that, and I can bring up 10 other different charting examples that I brought up in my prior videos. You can feel free to go ahead and watch them. Specifically one I did, if you want an example, I did a video 3 days ago that's titled, These Hidden Trends Could Reveal the Market Top. That go over some of the bullish trends as well. But my point being, a 2-month bearish candle formation is not enough to debunk all the other forms of analysis we have. And it's certainly not enough to change any immediate short-term investment decisions in any rational analyst, because when you see a pattern like this, just like any other market pattern or any other candlestick formation, you don't just quick sell and get out of the market because you see a bearish candle. It's ridiculous. No, you wait until that is validated by the price action moving downwards. And that validation, guess what? It's going to happen at 57K. So regardless of what I think about this candle formation, 57k is still the major level. Even if I agreed with you that this candle formation was very, very bearish, it's the end of the world, I still wouldn't sell until 57k, because 57k is when we get the macro confirmation of a breakdown. So it doesn't even change my strategy at all. My strategy still remains the same regardless of what I say in this segment about the 2-month candle. But just moving into other things, I mean, we can look at 2-month candles historically and show that they don't really have a high degree of accuracy at all. We can go back, less than a year ago and see this. Here's a bullish hammer formation, okay? That's a pattern that generally represents upside continuation. Right after it, we saw a bearish engulfing candle, which represents downside reversal, okay? And right after that, we saw a bullish engulfing candle. So we saw two separate candles, both of which failed, and then we just continued the upwards trend, which kind of represents that the narratives at that time, or the cyclical narratives, are stronger. Again, we can look at the downwards trend here. We can see, or even back here in 2021 May, strong bearish engulfing candle, immediately just invalidated by two separate green candles breaching the all-time highs. Another one over here, strong bullish doji candle representing reversal, followed by another doji candle representing reversal, and just followed by a bearish engulfing. And then the bearish engulfing didn't even send us further down. It was just a sole bearish engulfing, followed by a green candle. So we can go back through Bitcoin's price history and just, kind of pick apart the utility of the 2-month candles. But the reality is, they're not useful. They don't really mean much at all. If I look at the chart on the screen right now, which probably shows 15 of them, okay, none of them have really worked that well at all. So I don't think this is a reliable form of analysis at all. I don't think it's because no one's looking at this chart. You have to remember, okay, the reason why Bitcoin goes up and down in valuation is because people are looking at the chart and they're buying and selling in reaction to what's going on in the chart. Guys, nothing's happened. No one's looking at the 2-month chart. They're looking at 1 month. They're looking at 1 week, 1 day. 4 hour, 12 hour. Those are the charts they're looking at. They're not looking at the 2-month chart and making investment decisions off that. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So no, I don't think the 2-month candle has any kind of hold on what people are doing whatsoever. And then moving forward, we've got another one that people are looking at and screaming about and screaming for me to look at, and that is the monthly chart stochastic RSI trend here. And that is basically looking at stochastic RSI on the bottom of the screen. On the stochastic RSI, you have 2 lines, right? You have the blue line, the red line. One of them is the conversion line, and one of them is the signal line, okay? Conversion line is the blue line, the signal line is the red line, okay? But we also have a level here at 80, okay? What you'll notice is that every time both lines, both the red and blue lines, cross below the white line at 80, we see significant downside price action in the market. Okay, we saw it here. We saw it here. Okay, that actually led to the top in 2018. We saw it here as well in 2019, preceding the COVID drop. We saw it here in 2021, preceding the major mid-cycle correction. And then we saw a bounce from the line here, we avoided the correction. A bounce from the line here, we avoided the correction. Right now, both the signal line and the conversion line are kind of plummeting towards that white line, threatening to break down below it. But I don't really understand how this is relevant to anything because they haven't broken below it yet. I don't know why this is concerning to people. We haven't broke below it yet. There's been no bearish trigger yet. So yes, this is valid. But again, when will that breakdown happen? Probably at a breakdown of 57k, which is why I'm looking at 57k so closely. Yeah, it's a valid trend, but it doesn't mean anything. We haven't broken it yet. So there's no bearish confirmation here at all. There's no trigger at all. We've seen bounces off this line before. Heck, we saw a bounce off this line literally 6 months ago. And we also saw one over here in 2016, and we continued the market cycle to the upside. This is not a signal to sell everything. It's a signal to, okay, let's look at it and be cautious. That's what it is, or not be cautious, but be observant of what's going on here. So basically, to sum up the video here today, a few things, Bitcoin's not having favorable short-term price action, that's for sure. And we do have a couple of potential threats developing. I don't think the 2-month candle is a threat at all, personally. I think it's kind of an idiotic form of analysis. I don't think it's relevant at all. This could be a threat, but it's not a threat yet because there's been no trigger. It's just something I'm watching closely for now. So yeah, everything kind of relies on 57k. My analysis hasn't changed, guys. I suppose that's all I can say about it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, go ahead and check out the VIP group on Telegram if you want trading signals. Bingx and Bitget exchanges, my links are down below. And also check out the Crypto Academy's Become a Trader Bull Market Sale. If you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn how to chart, you want to get educated on the market so you can actually trade and navigate the market by yourself, this is the way you can do it. All the information's on the website. Description down below has all those links. Check them out. Guys, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good day or evening. Cheers.